It is the Technology Show where we translate geek into regular speak. I'm Brett Levy and I'm your host this week. I'm actually a bit late this week and it's daylight saving. So I live in Queensland, Australia. We don't do daylight saving, but the rest of the country has turned their clocks back. In fact, I think it was already last week, but somehow I messed it up. So I'm kind of like 45 minutes late, but I'm also 15 minutes early for 2 o'clock, which is the normal time I do it. I'll try to get better as we go through the next 6 months. I normally am pretty good at that, but rather late than ever. So for all of those on the Australian Eastern Daylight Time, apologies. For all those on Queensland time, well, apologies. I'm early or late. I'm late both ways. Anyway, to all the viewers around the world, welcome to the show. So let's get into it. What have we got this week? So in things with a Z. So I've always been interested in the Internet of Things, and I've actually played with a few things in this space over the year. I've interviewed some founders and pioneers of the industry when I was still in South Africa. There was IoT Next, was one of Gartner's cool products to watch. They went on to do some amazing things. In fact, got bought up by Vodacom, I think, and which is Vodafone in the rest of the world. I've got some mates here that have headed up Internet of Things at some of the carriers here. So it's always been something that I've followed, but it's kind of like, not sure where it always sits and fits. So when I got offered a chance to review one of a pretty cool gadget in the space, I jumped at it. So I'm talking about the Flic. In today's show, I've called it a Flic Off. It's Flic, F-L-I-C, no K. We got the K in the Technology Show. I just thought of that now. Anyway, right, back to the Flic. So the Flic is a small button that packs really big pictures. So for those listening, it's about, well, I can show you for those who are watching. So there it is there. But for those listening, it's about the size of a quarter, American quarter, maybe even an Australian 20-cent piece, South African 2 Rand coin, and I'm at a loss for anything else. And then thickness, it's a few centimeters, maybe like 2 or 3 centimeters thick. You can, if you're watching, you'll see it. Go online. Anyway, so what does the Flic do? Well, it's coupled with an app and it does some really cool things. Basically, what I've got up on the screen here is just showing you some of the different actions that you can do, right? So we've got fun, connected lights, smart home, media, phone control, time management, fitness. You can kind of see where we're going with this and what this review is going to be all about. So let's go into it. Well, if you're watching the show, I've put some screenshots up, but I'm going to talk you through this journey. Now, the Flic has probably over 200 integrations that I could see. It may be a better question to actually ask what it doesn't do. The other thing about it is that it's a little programmable button. I'm actually going to see if this does it later. I don't want to push the button yet. Don't want to ruin the surprise. But the programs are either 1 click, 2 clicks, or click and hold, so like a push. So you can actually get 3 different things to happen off 1 button. So that's pretty cool as well. So it's not just like, here's a button that does 1 thing, and it's easy enough to change as well. Now, what I've done on mine, on this one, well, I've actually got a 3-pack, so it comes in different configurations. So this one that I'm holding in my hand, if I push it once, it does a find my phone. Well, let's try it. I just actually need to find my phone because it's pretty loud. There we go, and it comes up, says I'm here. Okay, I got you. Right, so there we go. So that was 1 button. Now you might say, well, I can use find my phone. Well, try use find my phone when you can't find my phone. But this, I know where this is all the time. It's sitting on my desk. So that's the 1 integration. That's a single push, and I haven't done any other single push features because you can actually do more than 2 things under the control, which takes me to the second thing that I've programmed with the double push. Now, this I can't show you because it's actually an integration that's designed for my TV downstairs. So when I push twice, then what it does is, first of all, it activates my Chromecast, which is linked to my TV downstairs. And then I've written a zap. So the zap is what you use on Zapier. So Zapier and if this, then that, both of them work on Flic. In fact, I've actually got an if this, then that screen up on the presentation as well, if you're watching the show. I then have a zap that opens YouTube. So push the button twice, click, click. It's not going to do anything because I'm sitting up here, my TV's downstairs. But the TV does need to be on. So the TV's on, click the button twice, fires up, it fires up the Chromecast and activates and pulls YouTube for me. That's all I have to do. Now that's pretty damn cool. I haven't programmed this one to do anything on the hold. And that's why if you're watching the show, you'll see it says there hold. But you can. So one button to do, one push to do one thing, two clicks to do something else. Or in my case, two things. And then a long hold. Now, speaking of long holds and different things, I've put up a picture here. This is a sequence, right? So if you're watching the show, you'll see that there's 3 little flick buttons. If you're not watching, I'm going to describe them now anyway. So there's 3 flick buttons that have been stuck on a little ledge, which is right where my keys go on the table. And basically what you do is, and they've been branded, right? So sorry, I left this out. There's optional extras where you can actually buy a sticker pack. And the stickers have things like a light bulb, a play button, a gym camera button. There's different things that you would use in setting up different features on the Flic. So we've got these 3 buttons in a row. The first one is just the Flic logo. The second has a play and pause button, like the universal signs. And the third is a light bulb sticker. So in this sequence, the Flic button closes the blinds using the Toggle Blinds app. So it's one of the smart home features. The second starts the music playing on a speaker like Sonos or Bose. And the third dims the lights. So imagine this, you walk in the door, you open the fridge, you grab a beer, and 3 Flic presses, actually 4, because you've got to flick with a K, you've got to flick your shoes off, right, when you come home. So let's redo that again. Walk through the door, flick your shoes off, go to the fridge, open it, grab a beer, then 3 Flic presses. 1 closes the blinds, 2 starts the music playing, and 3 dims the lights. So now you're sitting on the couch, lights dim, chill music playing. Technology, man, great way to end the day. So that's just an example of how you can use the buttons in a sequence. Now again, like I know people are going, yeah, but I can do this on my phone. Or I can go, hey, I'm going to say the S word so it doesn't start up now, or hey with the G word, or just the A word. And if you can't figure out those ones, then you're clearly watching the wrong show. Yes, you can, but generally those do one thing, right? You can go, hey, whatever, do this, and then you go do something else. And the other thing where the buttons really come into play, in fact, I saw this, I think, on Flic's website, was a sticker of a TV sitting on a table. I think there was a candle or some really nice plates. Now that just, you can straight away, the picture does 1,000 words. You get to the table, you're having supper, you push the Flic button and the TV turns off. Okay, it's family time. Now, why would you do that? Well, it's very simple. When you come into the table, you don't want people bringing their phones. This is supposed to be a time when you step back and disengage from your devices. Little Flic button just on the underside of the table, on the side of the table, push the button, TV turns off. So there's tons of things you can do with it. So it can be programmed to take a picture. It can be programmed to turn a page on an ebook, or even on sheet music, right? So if you're playing, let's say you're playing an instrument, I'm doing this with my fingers for people that aren't watching, I'm making like a trumpet playing sound. You can actually put a little flick on your trumpet, click and it will actually turn the page on your iPad of your sheet music. Close the blinds, open a website link, send a text message or alert. So like a text message, for example, you might want to come in through the door and tell someone that you're home. Like they say, well, let me know when you're home. So instead of pick up your phone, type out the message. What happens if you've been out all night, your phone's dead? What happens if you lost your phone? If you lost your phone, it won't actually work because you do need your phone there, but because the app's good controls through the app. And I'll talk about that as another option a little bit later on in the review. But push the button, sends a message. The message already written out, it's programmed, off it goes. I mentioned Zapier or if this then that. Using Zaps or if this then that technology, you've got hundreds of thousands of different things that you can do as well that can all be triggered. You can make a fart sound come through somewhere. You can make a fake call happen. So let's say you're on a Tinder date, right? It's really going bad. Or maybe you're just sitting in a meeting and it's going bad. Got a Flic button in your pocket or attached to your bag, because actually a little accessory as well. It's like a little clip that you can clip onto something. Push the button, your phone rings, you pick it up. There's no one there. You pick it up, yeah. Oh no, that's terrible. Shit. Okay, I'm coming now. fake call, right? Flic button to the rescue. So yeah, it really, really is endless. Works with Alexa, works with HomeKit. I paired directly with Sonos and Bose. Spotify, so you can program a playlist. When you push that button, Spotify plays, and that playlist plays as well. Now, this one, if you're watching, I'm probably going to get called out on, but I'm going to explain it for you. So I've got a picture of my MacBook and a Flic button sitting right in front of it on my desk. This is one of my other Flic buttons. This button is programmed to do one thing. I haven't done multiple things. I'm actually sitting there thinking about it now because I had to turn off the speaker downstairs to do the show. There was a speaker playing downstairs. I could actually use the second click for that. I will do that afterwards. But I have this button sitting right here. And all that this button does is stop or start, play or pause my music. That's it. Now, I said I was going to get called out, right? I'm not going to get called out. I'm not lazy. Yes, I know I can click my mouse to do it. That seems like using technology for technology's sake. I've heard all of it. It's very simple, actually. I'm sitting here working. My music's playing. It plays at quite a substantial volume, I might add as well. I like to work with really loud music. I've got a big screen over here. I mean, you see me on the show often looking that way. I'm looking at notes and things like that as well. So basically, the music's blaring. I'm looking at different screens. I don't actually have the music app open there front and center. Now my phone rings and it's a client. I can't answer the call on speaker because all they're going to hear is my music blaring. Flic. That's it. Music pauses. Doesn't matter where the app is. Doesn't matter if I've minimized the app, if it's behind a window, if it's on desktop 3, just click. It'll flick. So Flic pauses the music. So while I'm picking up my hand, grabbing my phone, sliding the little slider to go into speaker mode, Flic, done. So not so bad, right? Not so lazy. It's actually using technology to make it easier because the other choice is while I'm fumbling to try and find it, I could lose the call. I'm trying to find the music app. And I promise you, I do not have the app open. It's either minimized or it's sitting behind one of my gazillion million windows. So to me, that was a very cool use of the words. There's another reason for it as well. My computer might have gone into sleep mode, which means it's locked. Okay, so only my fingerprint or my Apple Watch is going to unlock it or the passcode. Music's blaring. I'm downstairs. Someone upstairs doesn't actually want to hear my music. They can just walk past and go, Flic. It's done. They don't have to unlock my computer. So it actually does serve a purpose, and it's not me being lazy. It was actually me being, I'd like to think, clever and using technology for the sake of using technology. So that's basically my review on Flic and the Flic buttons. I just want to finish off and say that Flic actually has a proprietary hub. And they've also just released a new device called the Twist, which I'm assuming twists instead of clicks. I haven't got to play with either of these. The Twist has literally just come out, and I never received a hub to try. I just got the 3-pack. But the hub, like most smart home ecosystems, will allow you to actually do a lot of things without having your phone. So remember earlier I used the example of just sending an SMS because your phone's dead. Well, that actually wouldn't work. Your phone would need to be on because the app needs to be there because that's how the button works. But you don't have to type out the text. You don't have to go, hi, mom, I'm home, or whatever. You just hit the button and double click whatever it is that you've set it to, long press, and it will go. Now, with the hub, your phone doesn't need to be on for certain things. So going back to my whole little sequence of close blinds, play music, and dim lights, that could actually all run through the hub. In other words, I don't need my phone. So if I was looking to be and let's just say if it wasn't chilled music, maybe it's a meditation series. The last thing you want to do when you meditate is have your phone, unless you're using your phone for the meditation. But you don't want to be disturbed, right? So you could actually leave any of your digital devices, push the button, the hub would activate, do all the different sequences until you start playing your meditation music. So yeah, I haven't reviewed it, but I'm reading through some of the different menus that you could do when you set them up. There's definitely a lot of functionality that's available to you in the hub. So if you are looking at getting something like this, maybe get the hub and hey, hit me up, let me know how it goes. So yeah, check it out, flic.io. For those listening, it's FLIC.io. There's no K. So it's not like Flic when you flick something, like flicking off my shoes. So Flic.io. And that brings me to the end of things with a Z. So on to tech news. Right, so I've got a picture up of the new announcement from Google on the Pixel range. They announced this last week that the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8 Pro, along with the Watch 2 and some buds, are coming out. I don't know if I'm doing a review. I hope I'm doing a review. You'll have to stay tuned and follow the show to see if I'm doing a review. I'm just acknowledging the fact that they did it. I did review these devices last year, not the buds. I reviewed the phones and I reviewed the watch. I've actually never reviewed a pair of Pixel buds, now that I think about it. I actually have to speak to the guys about that. But anyway, so Pixel 8, Pixel 8 Pro, from what I've been reading online, there's been incredibly positive reception and feedback on it. As I said, hopefully I do get to play and review these devices for you, but just want to acknowledge that they're out so that if you are in the market for a phone at the moment, you're looking at an Android device. For all of you that know me, I have a Pixel 7 Pro as my gaming phone. That's the device that I use when I'm not on my iPhone. And I use it for games. It's my fun phone. I'm not working phone. It's just an awesome phone. If the Pixel 8 Pro has done more on their cameras than they did on the Pixel Pro 7, it's going to be an incredible device. And I'm pretty sure we'll see some really innovative stuff on the software side as well. Things like Magic Eraser and that we had last year. Speaking of which, I actually saw Magic Eraser on my Google Photos app on my iPhone. Now, I don't know if that's because I'm special. I mean, my mom thinks I'm special. But if you have an iPhone and you have the Google Photos app, let me start that again. If you have an iPhone and you don't have the Google Photo app, please get the Google Photos app. I've reviewed that as an app of the week. It's a fantastic app and helps you free up storage as well if you don't use cloud or iCloud rather. But I actually noticed Magic Eraser on there the other day. Now, I don't know if it's the model of the phone. I don't know if it's the operating system of the phone that causes it, but I did notice it there. So, hey, maybe a little gift from me to you. Okay. This one's a little bit more serious. Fake QR codes. Now, yeah. So apparently there are now fake QR codes that go around that can carry malware. Hackers are using QR codes in email attacks to trick recipients into visiting malicious websites or downloading malware or any other things that you would do that you wouldn't want to do. This was found out by a cybersecurity firm called Barracuda. They're basically saying that attackers are embedding QR codes in like phishing emails or emails that, you know what a phishing email is, but sending out emails, prompting us to scan the QR code and then visit a fake page. From there, like all phishing emails, you get lulled into entering your credentials, and before you know, bang. So Barracuda has warned that these attacks are difficult to detect because they're using email filtering, because an email filtering system doesn't pick up a QR code as a threat. These guys are relentless, right? So now we've got a technology that we were kind of forced to use during COVID, which is the QR code, that's now actually has another virus attached to it. And this one's probably a real virus and maybe more serious than the other virus that we thought we had with COVID. Oh, I'm going to get lashed for that one. But anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, so basically, I think it's time we go back to typewriters and smoke signals, but then you won't get to see or hear my show. Okay, so don't click, don't scan, don't type, don't read anything online. Just don't. I think that's a message. And by the way, for anyone that's now picked up their phone and tried to scan this QR code, and I know there's some of you out there, I have no idea where this QR code went. I just Googled fake QR code images. For all I know, this could be a malicious code. So I went and tried to do the responsible thing, and I've blocked the little square at the bottom. So this QR code probably and should not work. I tried it. It didn't work. Please don't try it in case there's some way to work. And just by the way, a QR code does not work unless it has those 3 squares in the corner. It needs those for the rest of the stuff to work. Yeah, so be careful. We now have fake QR codes. This announcement... So look, I'm a techie, right? I love tech. I love innovation. I love progress. I love. But really, so Nokia's announced that they've opened a 6G lab in India. I know 6G is next, and here's a prediction. After 6G, we'll have 7G. Let's get 5G working. Like, why would you want to go and start, A, spending money, B, working on tech that is probably a good few years from now? I hope it's a good few years from now. First of all, most of the world is still reliant on 4G. In fact, probably even 3G for voice. In fact, Australia uses 3G networks, which they are about to turn off. They're going to move them to 4G. But they've been using and currently are using 3G for voice and 4G for data. And 5G is like, it's all over the place. Let's get that right? Let's open a 5G lab in India and actually get 5G to work properly. Or let's put more 5G antennas out there in the marketplace so that more people can actually have 5G. Good idea. So yeah, I do get it. Someone's going to go, yeah, but they want to be innovative. They want to show what they can do. Great. Let's do that in 5 years' time when we're actually ready to be innovative on 6G. What are they going to do? They're going to make 2 devices. I mean, Nokia makes devices and they make the routers and everything as well. So they're going to make 2 devices that no one can buy, that no network supports, that can send data packages at 6G speeds, which I don't know what that is. And I've never really experienced true 5G speeds either, so I don't even know what that is. Wow. Slow clap. Well done. So yeah, thank you. But no, thank you. I think that takes me to the end of tech news. It does. Right. So are you game? Nothing exciting. Well, tons of stuff exciting. Got the wrong slide up there. So I actually didn't play any games this week, but what I can, there's 2 reasons. So first of all, the only game I've been playing is Counter-Strike 2. So Counter-Strike Go is now Counter-Strike 2. It is available to everyone. You don't have to be in beta anymore. It is awesome. It's going to just make everyone fall in love with the game again. We're going to see it really raking up on esports. I think I did discuss about the fact that there's no more official Counter-Strike Go. So ESL is not the official Counter-Strike Go event organizer anymore. They might tell you they still are. They're not. Anyone can now run a Counter-Strike Go event. I'm going to even run some Counter-Strike Go events. In fact, I'll probably look at doing some after hours at the Esports Hub and maybe even holiday projects. So if you're in the Gold Coast and you want to get more involved in some after hour gaming, let me know. Got 12 machines, thanks Allied, that are dying to be used. And maybe for school holidays, we'll start putting some camps together. I'll start looking at doing something like that. But the other main reason that I didn't actually do anything, got a like from Carl. Thanks, Carl. I know you stoked about your Allied machine. A little bit of a pun for Allied machines. If you don't know, Allied Gaming, probably hands down best gaming machines in Australia. Go and check them out. They were at PAX, and that's what I was getting to now. So this last weekend was PAX. PAX is not only about esports, it's got cosplay, but more importantly, there's a lot of the indies there, a lot of the indie game developers, game awards, game discussions, some really cool stuff coming out of there. I am looking at the list. I'm going to see if I can try and play a couple of the games, support some of the local independent developers. As always, I know everyone works hard for their money, but if you're going to spend a few dollars, pick up some of the indie games. You know, these guys, it's normally just a single developer, maybe 2 developers that have put the game together. We reviewed one a little while ago. His master's pupil. It was a beautiful game. We had the game developer on. So yeah, support the indie games. You know, who knows? One day they might become really big games. Okay, well, I was there first. So yeah, I didn't play anything, but definitely been following it. Stay tuned for more. And then that would take us to Q&A, I guess. Let's see if anything came through here. Let's see. Oh, well, I like this one. Okay. Hey, Brett, will a 90-watt charger ruin my battery on my phone? So simple answer is no. Now, a 90-watt charger, a lot of the MacBooks, the big MacBook Pros have them. I think the Surface has it. They have a 90-watt charger. I stand corrected. Oh, no, it wasn't the Surface. It was one of the gaming laptops I reviewed. I think it was the Asus that had a 90-watt charger. So the simple answer is no. The phone will only draw what it can and what it's regulated to accept. What I can tell you actually on that note, which is quite interesting because I found this out the other day, there's a difference between a 20-watt charger and a 20-watt fast charger. So if it says the word fast charger, it's a fast charger. A 20-watt charger just means it charges up to a maximum of 20 watts. It doesn't have the tech that is inside a fast charger to make it charge fast. So just bear that in mind. But no, it won't ruin. You can run a 90, 140, 200-watt charger. However, the question that I think should have been asked, or maybe where you should be concerned, and I'm just going to put it out there now, think about it, is voltage. So not watts, voltage is more important. Most phone chargers are 5-volt chargers with a 1 or 2 amp circuit or capacitor. I'm not an electrician. I don't know what the right word is, but amps. And basically putting more voltage into your phone is going to be damaging. Now, 12 volts is what a car uses, right? And we all charge our phones in our cars, and you've got car chargers that do it. I think a caution, and I do talk about this quite often, when you're buying technology, don't buy on the cheap, especially things like chargers and cables. So first of all, a cable makes a difference. On a fast charger with a shitty cable, it's not going to be as good as a fast charger with a proper cable. It's designed to carry the different types of tech. And number two, cigarette lighter charger or car charger, you can get them for $1 and you can get them for $50. Don't buy the $1 one. You don't have to buy the $50 one, but buy the $20 one. Buy a brand name. I think that's the important thing. Everyone looks at brands and goes, oh, I'm just paying for the brand name. In some instances, specifically in the fashion industry, yes. When it comes to technology, no. I'm a firm believer that a brand has put a lot of money into their research and development. They've checked things out. They've made sure that they're using good parts and good components. Things like a regulator that you want on your charger to make sure that even though 12 volts is coming in from your car battery, 5 volts is going out to your phone. 12 volts to your phone, not such a great idea. I think on that note as well, you'll notice that if you do charge your phone in the car, it heats up a lot more than it would on a bedside charger or a desktop charger. That's again because the phone's working a bit harder, using its regulation against the charge. So don't keep a phone on charge in the car too often either, even with a good name brand charger. I don't know if this is a fact, this is an opinion, but I think if anything, you could potentially cause some damage to the longevity of the battery because you're subjecting it to a lot more voltage than it was actually designed to accept. So hopefully that answers that question. And if I have been answering questions, then that means that we're at the end of the show. So I guess until next time, keep your screens clean and your knobs shining.